Barn. We'll give it a couple minutes for folks to roll in, and from there, once we get some folks in here, we'll go ahead and do a live tour here of the Fish Barn. So hope everyone's had a great holiday season, and looking forward to the new year. So this isn't the greatest background behind me. This is kind of my seating position in the upstairs of the barn. But you can see, there's plenty of tanks behind me here. There's some above. So it looks like we've got Renee here. Paul Martin's here. So thank you for joining on this impromptu stream. It's been a long time since I've streamed. I went back and looked a little while ago, and it's been 3 years since I've streamed. So I figured, this was a pretty good time. So Select Pets here. Joseph Irondo is here as well. So, so you're welcome, Renee, for the memberships. I always like to give back, especially to the co-op. I think they do a pretty good job with the membership program that they do, bringing in the speakers with the online fish club. So it's definitely something that I'm pretty happy to support. So. Hello, John. How are you? Hi, Tony. So it looks like we've got 11 folks here. So, like I said, thank you for joining. It's been a long time. So, I think we'll give it till like 3:33, and then I'll go ahead and go from there. So, John says he wants to see some guppies. So, I was going to start with the basement, but on my way to the basement, I'll show you probably what's been my favorite guppy species right now. Is the audio okay? I think it's pretty good from the comments, but let me know if it's not. I've got the video on and it looks pretty good to me. So this is on my phone, so the video quality and audio quality is not going to be 100% perfect, but I think the barn's pretty quiet, and I think we're in good shape. So. Yeah, so kind of one of the reasons I wanted to do this too is I wanted to, I cleaned up the fish room. I spent a good portion of my Christmas holiday, kind of cleaning up the fish room, and kind of just making everything kind of nice in here. I don't know if you guys are aware, but like my daughter just got done playing volleyball this season. She's a senior this year, so this is her last season. So they finished that up at the beginning of November, and so that. Kind of took up a fair amount of time for me. So, so now, schedule's kind of different now going forward. So I figured, today's a good day to go live. So, so I said I think we'd give it till 3:33. And so we got a fair number of people on. So let's go ahead and get started. I'll flip the camera around and we'll go from there. So I will warn you now that my gimbal skills are not 100%, but I will do my best to keep you guys not dizzy. So since John wanted to see some guppies, that's where we'll start. Right here we've got the Stan Schubel Blues. I picked these up recently, back in October from the Grand Valley Aquarium Club auction. They actually had Eric Bodrock there, and he was selling these Stan Schubel heirloom type guppies. So I bought a trio. You can see that male is absolutely stunning, and then you've got the females, and these have been really prolific. You can see a lot of the fry in here. Then you've got in here as well, if you look in the grass, I do have some tangerine tiger shrimp. It's kind of an experiment to see how they'll do. I really don't have like the water per se for Caridina shrimp. But when I went to the Garden of Eder this year, he said these were the easiest ones. So they actually were at our local auction. Decided to put it up, or decided to pick them up and see how they do. So I have seen buried females, but I've not seen any shrimplets yet from these. So we'll kind of see what happens. So we're gonna head down to the basement now, or the downstairs part. This is an old. Just for you guys that don't know, this is basically like an old garage. So it's not perfect, but it definitely works. So we're going to kind of start with my favorite tank here. I do apologize for the glare, but this is home to my Cyprichromis leptosoma blue flash. I've had these now for about 3 years or so. And honestly, this is probably my favorite tank here in the fish tank barn. Hey, thank you, Stephen P., for joining. I really can't see a lot of chat when I'm doing this, so if I miss someone, definitely apologize. So, yeah, so you got the Cyprichromis leptosoma blue flash. I've got some crypts in here as well. I actually planted these a couple years ago in the aquarium co-op pots, just with some root tabs, and these have kind of taken off slowly but surely. These do spawn quite frequently. If you look here, you can see the little baby Cyprichromis in here as well. And then you'll notice in here I run most of the building just with these aquarium co-op sponge filters with the uplift tubes. But yeah, this is probably my favorite tank here in the barn right now. Hello, Audra. How are you? We're going to go down to the next tank here. I think you guys, veterans of the channel know I like to keep Gadaeans. So this is the Black Prince Gadaean Cracodon Audax. I struggle with breeding these. This is one I'll probably be putting outside this year. I'm going to show you another one that I'll probably also be putting outside that you guys have not seen on the videos yet. So yeah, this is a pretty cool fish. I really enjoy like the black markings on it. I do have a couple of tanks where I think I'm fighting a little bit of disease, and I think this is one of them, unfortunately. If you see these high fin platies in here, they've kind of got clamped fins. I put some salt in a couple days ago, but I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably pick up some Med Trio. I should have it on hand, but that was kind of my fault. But I'll pick that up here and get those going as well. All right, so we're going to move around here to probably one of the bigger tanks in the barn, this 125-gallon tank with the Tropheus Maplungu. You see, these are absolutely gorgeous. I actually picked these up at the Babes in the Cichlid auction at the Triple Crown. I started out with like 3 of them. Fortunately for me, they did spawn. With Tropheus, you usually want to start with like 6. But yeah, I got 3 of these. They've bred out quite a bit, as you can see. And we probably won't be able to see it, but I'll come forward here and see if we can find some fry in the crypts. Usually at night I'll see some of the fry, swimming around amongst the crypts in here. And then I guess the crypts don't seem to care that they get bombarded with sand. They tend to do this quite a bit. So turning around to the next tank here, we've got the Star Sapphire cichlids that I picked up recently. And then we have some yellow labs, and we have Vallisneria as well. So that's, it's kind of been working on a little project here in the fish barn to kind of get rid of a lot of the Val. The Val will stay in this tank, but for a lot of the tanks, I've been trying to get rid of it. So it kind of almost became like duckweed, honestly. But yeah, so this, they're going to see some mulm in here. But yeah, because I just had the, can I identify the gender of the cichlids? For the Star Sapphires, it's pretty easy. This guy right here is the male, bigger, more colored up. And then the one right next here is the female. Yellow labs are a little harder. I don't think it's 100% accurate, but if you look on their anal fin, there's usually like a tail spot. But I can't find one right now that has one to show you, unfortunately. There's a couple other cichlids here in the fish barn, and I can show you those here in a second. One thing I do want to kind of advise you on as we go through here, I mean, a lot of these aren't aquascape tanks. They're more for breeding fish, keeping fish alive, places for fry to hide. So they're not, there's not a lot of aquascaping going on in here. I'm not very good at it personally, but like I said, I do my best on certain tanks. Heading up here, we're not really going to see these guys, but these are the Xenotoca melanosoma. These are from got these at the Triple Crown as well. And there's a platy in here as well from Rio Huxtititla. There's just a lone female in here that I kind of used as a dither. But these guys are pretty reclusive in here. Next over here, unfortunately, this tank, these guys kind of didn't do so well, but these are the Solar Flare Swordtails. This is another one I've been working on a little bit with salt. See if we can cure that up a little bit. But this fry and the male have been doing quite well so far. So hopefully I can keep that going. Another tank here is one I got to do some work on in terms of moving the fish. Audra, that is Java moss. So if we look through here, we've got the Ileodon whitei right here. Unfortunately, I've never gotten these to breed. We'll take a look at its cousin, the Ileodon furcidens, here in a few minutes. There's also the bulldog Gadaeid in here, the Elaphorus robustus, which is probably hiding behind the like the sponge filters and stuff like that. But again, quite a few crypts in here. And then since I'm here, I'll show you some of the lighting in here. So a lot of these lights I use in here, not all of them, some of them are co-op lights. Let me flip that up here for you. So, you know, kind of looking in the cobwebs here, but you can see it. I grow a lot of these plants with just these simple LED shop lights. And it seems to do quite well. So for like a large fish room, that's something to keep in mind. So if you look at this tank here, you can look here and see, you know, this is the co-op light. But a lot of them, I just use the simple shop lights. So we're going to move on over here now. This is the Neolamprologus similis. If you look here, these guys have really been prolific. You know, I usually, you know, put a bag or two of these in our local auction. And, you know, I've thought about moving them even into a bigger tank, but I think they're doing fine in the 40 breeder. So they just kind of do their thing. This tank usually gets kind of covered with algae on the front glass a little bit. But yes, these are, I think, you know, everyone should keep a shell dweller tank once in their life. You know, kind of a fun little tank to have. This is a kind of the catch-all tank. There's a couple of these here in the barn. Let me flip the gimbal here for you. So we've got the Bosmanian rainbow fish from Aves Creek. Those ended up being a gift from a fan. He wanted to give me some at a swap in Chicago, and then I bought some from him as well. You know, I don't really want to accept free fish and stuff like that. I got the Ember Tetras with some guppy grass, and then kind of like any live bear that kind of ends up with one fish you kind of see in here. Hello Peplin, how are you? This is a Gerardinus falcatus in the back there with the large gonopodium. Unfortunately, I lost all the females to it, but it's kind of like your Gerardinus metallicus, but a little bit different. You see the bristlenose pleco right here. And then there's kind of a random mix of other stuff in here, basically. Moving down here, and none of them are out, which is outstanding. But this is the Nichols mouth brooder, Pseudocronabulus nicolsi. There's a couple of them right there. You can see I think there's about 8 in here, about 4 pair. So, you know, if they come back out, we'll swing by that on our way back upstairs. Next up here is the Xenotoca eiseni. These are from Rio Compostela. You know, with the Gadaeids, you do want to keep like the location specific. So I do have some other eiseni upstairs that are a lot more grown out. So one thing here, I think this is an Aponogeton right here. But, you know, like I said, I don't do a lot of things with plants. But you can see it kind of attempted to maybe flower. There was a little flower on the end of this a couple weeks ago. But fortunately not right now. So heading onwards. This is the other kind of catch-all tank here in the barn. This is the Tanganyikan catch-all tank. You can see the Parasiprochromis blue neon right there. This white fish is a Callichromis Pelosporus flame rainbow. Kind of like a little schooling Tanganyikan. We'll see one of its cousins here in just a minute. Over here, we have the Lamprologus ornata pinus. I'm actually going to maybe move those to a tank upstairs and see if I can get those to breed. And then we've got the Althro Lamprologus. I think it's a Compressiceps redfin. I have the name in my file that I keep. Moving up here, kind of an interesting tank. I made a mistake when I built this tank. I gave myself literally like no hand room, so this tank's really a pain to clean. But and I'm gonna redo this tank anyway with some better plants and stuff like that. I'm gonna get some crypts and get that in here, kind of like what I did with the Cyprochromis tank. But we do have the Chapeleuctes and Caustus, probably one of my favorite Gadeids. You know, barred split fin. Honestly, probably one of my favorites. I really like the bronze with the stripes on it, and these Java ferns obviously are not looking very hot. Probably another one of my favorite fish right here is the what do we got? Antinobis toweri. I have two different locations. This is from the Al Aljui Spring. I picked these up early in 2024 from a where was that? Greater Detroit Aquarium Society auction. One of the main Goodade keepers, and these have been extremely prolific. These spawn like rabbits, and then if you look closely here, if you look at this, it's kind of either. I have trouble with telling with the eye color, but these are either albino or leucistic. So they've been throwing out quite a few, albino leucistic fish. So, I'm going to see if that continues to breed out, and maybe I'll separate them out here in the near future. And then, if we look at the top here, look here, I use a lot of hornwort on the top here, kind of for fry cover for these. This did die back a little bit, kind of when the weather changed, but yeah, did looks but does provide a lot of cover for these guys. When these spawn, they do tend to rise to the surface. So we're gonna go ahead here. We're gonna flip the camera back down, and I'll probably show you my best aquascape tank here in the barn right now. This is my home to my Ameca splendens. This is a 75 gallon. Got some driftwood in here. I think this is the only tank that has driftwood in it. And then I've had this colony since like 2020. So this colony is 5 years old, and it's just kept breeding and going. So yeah. This is probably, along with the Cyprochromis tank, this is probably another favorite tank of mine in here. And then that plant is all crypts. I believe it's probably either Wendtii green or Affinis, because that's what I normally buy. This next tank, we're gonna have to probably throw some food in for it. But they're all hiding in the corner over here. You see them all over here. They're another Tropheus species, the red morai. All right, heading up here. We talked about the Callichromis macrops before. This is its cousin, the Callichromis pelosporus we talked about before. This is the Callichromis macrops. It's kind of like a little schooling Tanganyikan. It's kind of spastic, especially when I hold a camera in their face. They kind of they get a little crazy. So we'll kind of push them this way and we'll step back a little bit maybe, and we'll see if they come out a little bit more. So, yeah, they're all right. Well, they're not going to cooperate. So we'll swing back again. And we'll throw some food in for those Tropheus so you can see them, because they're pretty fish. Moving right along here, this tank here is home to my Cyprochromis leptosoma Impibwe blue neon. These ones are not as colorful as the blue flash so far. They've not colored up, but yeah. So these are the fry. Like, I started out with 6. They kind of dwindled down to 2. reproduced, and now these are the fry. And the male of it kind of hangs out here in the corner until you spook him, and then he kind of goes this way. So, see, he's not very colorful. So hopefully, some other ones will color up a little bit. But one thing I'll talk to you about too are the backgrounds in here. I made these probably about 4 or 5 years ago, just with basically some spray foam and some closed cell foam to kind of put against the tank. And these have held up extremely well. Like I said, these are almost 5 years old and really not seeing a lot of issues with them. You can see some Java fern here growing into the top. And then heading over here, I recently just added these this weekend actually. These are the Neolamprologus multifasciata. Little, these are kind of smaller. But yeah, these have done quite well. I've seen a couple fry, so hopefully I can get these breeding and get them going. And then we'll head to the bottom here. This is my 90-gallon tank home to the Melanitania. Let me fix the Melanitania pagua finis. Got 4 fish in here. These are the only fish in this 90-gallon tank, so I've got to figure out what else to put in here. Maybe I'll move the rainbow fish somewhere. I'm not sure yet, but especially in the morning, if you come in here, that male really colors up nicely. So we're gonna flip the camera back this way. All right, next up here, we've got the Limia islay or tiger inner. Sorry, yeah, that's a good answer, Steve. And I've thought about that. Put more rainbows in that tank. But yeah, so we've got the tiger Limia, Limia islay. This tank is not the prettiest tank in the world, but these fish really do breed quite readily. Kind of the beginning of February, I've got a species profile for these. So John's asking, can you use pit sand for my tank, for your tanks? I guess I don't know what you mean by pit sand, but the sand that I use in a lot of these, not all of them, is the pool filter sand. I usually get it at Menards if you have a Menards in your area. But you can probably get it from like a pool supply store or a hardware store as well. That's what I normally use for sand. I think if you use other sand, it could be kind of dirty and thick. Like I've played around with some other sands and it's just been thick and kind of not fun to mess with. One thing I will show you in here as well, if you can see them in there. This is the L204 flash pleco that you can see in there. There should be 4 of them in here. They kind of hide around in the algae and the plants and everything. So, all right, coming up next here. Oh, we've cool. We've got some fry in here, so that's cool to find new fry. But we've got the trout Godiad Iliodon furcidens. I recently just moved these into this tank. I decided to, kind of give them a bigger home. I'm kind of hoping for some new fry, and obviously kind of been rewarded here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and these have been pretty good about not eating their fry. So, I'm not going to pull them out or do anything with them like that. So that's a pretty cool discovery. So, thank you, John. I appreciate it. All right, they came out. So let's see. So these are the Tropheus Melorio red morai. They're gonna, like I said, they kind of hide out, but when they come out, they're really quite nice. But they, for some whatever reason, they like hang out. They like to hang out in this back corner, which is so Happy New Year, John, to you. But yeah, so basically, yeah, they hang out in the corner, but when they come out, they're beautiful. And then we'll see these clowns over here. Yep, there we go. We got the Callichromis macrops. The males are have like a really cool red sheen on them. So yeah. So I think that is all of the downstairs. I will talk for a second, since I do live in Michigan and it's winter. So I'll show you the Stiebel Eltron. This is what I use to heat it. Just a 1500-watt heater. Between the heat in the tanks and the heat, generated from the lights and everything in here, that seems to be enough. Today I think it's actually in the 50s. It's pretty nice. Hey Eric, how are you? So, so yeah, let me just do that right there. And then I do run auto water change. This is one of the things I spent quite a bit of time on. This used to be, it still is kind of a rat's nest of wires, but it was a lot worse. And then right along here, I just use the Casa Wi-Fi timer, and all that does is it kind of clicks on for I think it's like 3 minutes a couple times a day. One for the upstairs, one for the downstairs, and then it just drains the water outside. Every tank in here is drilled. So if you look, if you look up here, you can see like every tank here is drilled. Probably one of the mistakes I made is I hard plumbed everything, but kind of is what it is. So, all right, I think that's it for the downstairs portion. What I'm going to do is we'll head back upstairs. I'll kind of flip through chat real quick, see if I didn't. Hopefully, I didn't miss any questions. But kind of coming through here as we come up the stairs, we've got a bunch of tanks here that we'll go through here in a moment. So I'm gonna flip the camera around for just a moment, grab a drink of water, and see what I missed. So, all right, so we're back. Let me just flip through chat real quick. So John's asking where I'm from. I'm actually in the Metro Detroit area of Michigan. So let me see. So thank you, Stephen, for adding this to Fish Fam Link. Appreciate it. So let me flip through the comments here. So Redneck Aquatics, as Simmons saying, he's been in the room pulling out guppy grass and duckweed all morning. Yep, that was one of the things I did over my Christmas vacation as well. I did put out a short a couple days ago, kind of how I do duckweed. So yeah, so what I normally do is take a shop vac, very carefully not to suck up any fish, and we'll generally just shop vac it, and that seems to work pretty well. Like anything, you do have to go back through, grab it again, and go from there. So, but that seems to work pretty well. At one point, all of these tanks had duckweed in it a couple years ago, and I've been, when I get in the mood to do it. So, oh, hey Corey, how are you? So I've been kind of, just do it that way, and if you keep at it, eventually you do win the battle. So let me go ahead here and go through through this real quick. So Steven said the answer is more rainbow fish. Yeah, I've kind of fight that due to my like kind of conservation mindset. Like I don't want like Gary Lang to come in here and be like, "Oh, you put 6,000 different rainbows in the same tank." So yeah, so I'm kind of I don't know about that. So I'm kind of in the I kind of like that's probably the right answer. I haven't made the commitment to do it yet. So let me see. Happy New Year to John. I think I said that. All right. Let me see. Do I still have? Oh, I do have the door. Actually, it's a new door, but it's still the same thing. So, we'll go down and take a look at that here in a second. And actually, I'll show you that after we go through the upstairs part of the upstairs tanks. I'm going to warn you, like when I tested this yesterday, the focus on these smaller tanks was not the greatest. So, but I will do my best for that. So, but like I said, I hope I think the fish room's pretty quiet. That's one of the things I'm going to test when I go ahead and rewatch this is to see how quiet the fish room is. Like I said, this is just a cell phone audio with, so I don't have like a lapel mic that works with my phone, but we'll see how it goes. Let me see. Flip through here, make sure I didn't miss anything else. So Eric Wyrock went to Fishy Biz in Chris's fish room, or Chris's fish store today. So definitely, those are both good stores in the Metro Detroit area. Another one that I like as well is Moby Dick's, as well up in Waterford. All three of those have supported the Motor City Aquarium Society over the years as well. So I definitely recommend checking those out. I do have a video, I think of both actually, of Fishy Biz and of Chris's Pet Shop. So I think I got all the questions. So I'm gonna flip the camera back around and go through and kind of take a look at some of the other tanks here. So, all right, we're gonna flip it around. All right. So this is another one that's kind of been on Struggle Bus lately, and these. Oh, we're gonna shut the lights off. Hold on one second. Let's grab the lights. Oh, there we go. All right, that's better. All right, so we're gonna go ahead here and take a look at these Brachioraphis braswithae. These are kind of a little, Pasillid live bearer. These are like nasty for eating fry, so I'm trying to get this guppy grass to grow out like some of the other guppy grass that you'll see here in a minute, to get these guys hopefully to maybe like colony breed, so I don't have to pull them. I may put these in a tub in the summer, kind of get them going. Heading to the next tank over here. Let's catch Audra's comment real quick. You mentioned having issues with, yeah, he may have, if you haven't seen them. They're usually pretty outgoing, so you might either want to check around, or a lot of times when I lose fish, like, you never see them, because all like the Malaysian trumpet snails and stuff will just eat them, and you'll never know what happened. So it says the video quality is good here. Okay, so next one up here is the stack endlers. Actually, kind of a funny story with these guys. I picked these up at our local club auction, and someone was just selling a group of females for, and I ended up getting them for like $10. So that worked out quite well, and then I just kind of bred them out from there. And then you can see here, you can see the cherry shrimp in there. The cherry shrimp are kind of present here in the fish room. They're kind of like almost in every tank, I think, at this point. Normally what I'll do for like the auctions is, I'll scoop out a couple bags of like 10 or so and put them in for the auction. They generally do pretty well. This is another group of endlers here. This is the black bar endlers. This is one I've had, I think, since like 2021. Another kind of old colony, and I'll try to get the glare away from it for you. So yeah. So that's another endler species. Heading down here, hopefully they'll come out. They kind of hang out towards the back, but there is those are red Moscow male guppies that I use kind of as dithers in this tank. And then the other fish that I really want you to see in here is the Xiphophorus variatus from Rio Coquilco. So I am going to try to feed these real quick, one-handed. And we're going to throw in, some Magic Nano feed. So thank you, Von Lurker. Appreciate it. Yeah, I do try to keep some pretty nice live bearers in here. So there's one of them. There's a male in here that I want to really see. So here's the Magic Nano feed. Hopefully here we'll see those guys come out here in a second, because I do want you to kind of do want you to see that if this fish will come out. Hopefully it will. Come on. There you go. That's the one I want you to see. No, come on. So there it is right there. That's the Variatus platy from Rio Coquilco. So Zen, thank you for sharing the membership link. I get kind of like my thing with membership is if you want to support the channel, I would appreciate it. I don't really do a lot of members content. I always find myself kind of stuck with that from, kind of like, if I put a members video out, then, I might as well just put it out for everybody and not have it behind a paywall. So I kind of struggle with that a little bit, but maybe I'll have to figure out something with, with memberships. But yeah, so this is, that's an absolutely stunning live bear. So one of my favorites. Moving on here, I've got some albino koi guppies as well. Kind of a, got these recently back in November at our club auction. I haven't seen any fry yet from them, but this is kind of like the winter season in the barn. So a lot of things kind of stop breeding, especially kind of like your more common live bear species. Those will stop breeding this time of year. Some of the tanks will get kind of into the high 60s. So moving onwards here, another platy species as well. Hopefully they come back out here in a second. But these are the Xiphophorus avelene, also known as the Pueblo platy. So we may have to feed those as well. They're a little, or we may have to just give them a minute. So they're another kind of cool one with the kind of like the speckled markings on them as well. I'm going to slide my chair over a little bit. All right, moving down to the bottom here. Some of these are kind of low, but this is the other Eisenai group. This is the Xenotoca eisenai from Nayarit. This is actually like the oldest Gadaid species in the hobby, coming from Robert Rush Miller in 1955. But it took me like 2 years to get these to breed. I put them outside in tubs this summer, got a ton of fry, and now they seem to do quite well. So Von Lurker was asking, can you keep wild swordtails without a heater? I would say that you could do. There's a presentation on the Aquarium Co-op channel, the membership channel, from Dr. Ted Coletti, where he talks about the different clads of swordtails. There's like a northern swordtail and a southern swordtail. I would try the northern swordtails without any heater, like fish kind of like the Xiphophorus malinche or Xiphophorus nezahuacoyotl, the Nezzies. You could try those, but yeah, like the southern ones, I would probably keep with a heater. Let's see if we can get these guys still. And then I think I briefly saw that question about the guppy grass. He's asking if it's wilting in the winter. Mine doesn't really wilt. Generally does pretty well in here. Got the 4-spot Merry Widow in here. I think there's only one left. That kind of didn't do very well. So Alexander asked if I have an online fish store. I actually do not. Oh, there's the male right there for the 4-spot Merry Widow. So I'm going to let this tank kind of season up a little bit more, and then I'm going to maybe try to get some from Dan maybe at some point here in a few months. Next one up, kind of a interesting fish in the fish barn. This is the Orange Australia killifish. I've got a pair in here. They really don't do much. I have this spawning mop. The guy I bought them from, says they lay eggs in the mop, but I've been honestly too lazy to look for them. So, next up here, another one. I'm kind of working on a little bit. This one didn't come in too well when I bought it at an auction, but this is the Green Lantern platy. There are a couple fry in here floating around as well. So, got to plant this tank up a little bit more. Moving on is orange swordtail, the Xiphophorus helleri with the the orange and white belly. There are some fry in here as well. If you see down there, there's a little fry right there. Moving on, this is one kind of an old favorite. I actually got these from Jimmy when he moved from Ohio. So these are the Vienna guppies. I do have some fry from these in the fry rack, but for whatever reason, I kind of struggle to breed these. I think I need to get some more guppy grass going and provide some hiding spots. Next tank over here, Pasilia butleri, which they all went to the back. And then there's some fry in here too from a swordtail that I had in here right before I moved it. So, but yeah, so these are the Pasilia butleri. I had some from Dan's Fish, but I had them for about like a year or so, and they kind of petered out. And then I found these at our local club auction, and they did. So I got them back in November. So hopefully I can get these breeding. These ones, I did some research on these, and these ones are actually kind of notorious fry eaters. So I may have to like pull females and do that stuff. I know we saw this tank already, but I do want to show this to you again. This is the Blue Delta Guppy from Stan Schubel. So, like I said, this is like my favorite guppy in the fish room right now. Tons of fry in here as well. So, and then, you've got the Tangerine Tigers and the Creeping Moss. Moving down here, I'm going to see how well I bend. Oh, hold on. Oh, wrong way. Really wrong way. There we go. All right, so this one here, we've got the Pasilia picta, the swamp guppy. I got these from Dan about a month ago or so, and they've settled in quite nicely. Don't seem to be needing any. Whoa, hold on. We just went gimbal. Hold on. All right, I messed up the gimbal. Sorry about that. So got the Pasilia picta, swamp guppy. Yeah, really like the red on the male here. So it says they need. I've heard a lot of people say they need salt water, but so far that's not been the case. So, no, snails have not been eating fry from what I can see. I think I usually get fish eating fry. It's like the fish that are eating fry, like especially a lot of the Goodeids. They'll eat the fry, but all right, so this is another tank of the Xiphophorus variatus from Rio Coquilco, the really nice one that I showed you in the beginning of the upstairs part of the tour. There's a few fry in here floating around, which I don't see right now, which is interesting. But they're probably up all in the plants and everything. And there's a ton of cherry shrimp in here as well. You can see on this rock here. But they're just mostly fry in here. The only reason I keep these ones separate is they're from like the Texas A&M Gil Rosenthal lab, while the other ones did not give like that specific information. So I was decided to keep them separate, or just in case. So another fish here is kind of a pretty one. I apologize for the glare. This is the Limia pruge from La Anzufrada. And then there's also some Melanitania praecox in here. This is another one that I've had for quite a long time. I think Dan sells the one from Sayula, I believe is how it's pronounced. But these ones I actually got from a local guy. And yeah, these are from La Anzufrada, so a little different location. You can see the dominant male right there. Absolutely beautiful fish. Down here actually is one of the rarest fish in my fish room, and it's only because of the location. This is the Capelychthys pardalis, which is from, this one is from the Oyo di, and I'll put the name up here for you, the Oyo di Tacumbo, the Balneario. So this basically, what they did is they basically turned its habitat into a bath. So it was basically like they turned it into like a swimming area. So this fish's habitat's like critically endangered, and I think I'm probably one of the few people that have this specific location. There may be some others, but a lot of them are from a different location that we'll see here in a minute. But yeah, so this is one I'm like pretty proud to have, and these are probably one of the easiest Goodeids to breed. You can see some of the fry up here in the top. I know this isn't the prettiest tank like we've talked about, where, a lot of times these, like I breed these to breed fish, right? So I don't try to win aquascaping awards with really any of these tanks, but the fry like to hide up in the top and the hornwort and then the Java moss down here. So So yeah. So next up here, this is a fish that's I've kind of had an interesting history with. These are the uh, blue Hawaiian Moscow guppies. Um, so you can see this one's got a ton of algae in it, but these I got these from Redfish Bluefish quite a long time ago. They seem to kind of basically they seem to sort of like go in waves. They'll be really successful for a while, then they'll die back, and then they'll come back again, and so they kind of have an interesting history. But so right now they're kind of on the upward trend a little bit, kind of trying to kind of breed them back a little bit. There's some fry in here, so hopefully we'll get these guys back going again. Now this is the one, and I've not shown this fish on a video yet. That'll come out kind of in the middle of January. But this is the Cracodon audax from Los Pinos, and this is one very few people have as well. And I actually got these from the ALA, and they have basically like their species maintenance program. So I basically filled out a spreadsheet, and when I submitted it to the ALA, they offered me these fish. All I had to do was pay shipping and handling. Now, the one thing I was a little surprised with, because a lot of the Los Pinos location, they instead of having the black like the Black Prince, they'll have red, and this one doesn't really have a lot of red on it. It's mostly black. But I'll show you. I got two trios of them, and I split them up. So I'll show you the other trio here in a moment, and that one has a little bit more red on it than that one does. But we'll kind of give it some time and see how they grow out. And then down here, this is a 40-gallon breeder. This is the Xenotoka Dodroi. I can't think one that everyone's kind of familiar with. And these, like the Ameca splendens, I do not have any red tuxedo guppies, unfortunately. So this one is really, these are bred like rabbits. They've been really prolific. I've thought about actually splitting this group up and putting it into 2 tanks, but yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and I put these in the auctions down pretty regularly as well. Next one's a little reclusive here, but this is the golden teddy, Xenophallus umbratilis. You can see one of them in the back. I think there's like a handful in here. Pretty cool little nano live bear. So Alexander says I need to open an online store. Like I don't see the problem is like I don't have I don't know. So I don't know. Like I don't know if I really want to deal with the online store. Like I do sell at our local club auctions, and like I might go to the ALA this year. San Antonio is quite a far drive from here. I may go to that and maybe the Keystone Clash, and maybe I'll sell some fish. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But I'm not going to do an online store. I don't think I have the personal bandwidth to do that. So next up here is we have the Xenotoka Lion's Eye, very similar to the Dodroi that we just saw. The male right now is kind of hanging out in the back, but so thank you, Aquarium Animals, for the sub. I appreciate it. Let me see if the male will come up here. Hopefully that's the male. Yep, right there in the back. There he is. So very similar to the Dodroi. This fish is actually out. This is sorry for the glare from the TV. This is Xiphophorus ophidium. This one's kind of getting long in the tooth. There's a couple smaller ones I think that are in here too, but this tank is literally covered with Java moss. So there may be, for all I know, there could be like a billion fry underneath the Java moss. So going down here, this one's kind of been an interesting story as well. I had a bunch of these at one point, and they kind of petered back. But these are the Rio Otapa swords. These are like the Rusty Wessel strain. Heading over here, slide the chair back a little bit. This is the Pasilia chica. Again, you can see the TV. These are like the dwarf mollies. I got these from the Wet Spot. And then a couple of the smaller ones that you see in here, I actually got from my local fish store. They actually had them in. So Moving onwards here, we've got the guppies here. I'm sorry if the angle's bad. These are the double sword guppies. I got these recently. There's one I got a cull in here. It's kind of U-shaped, so I'll have to get him out of there, you know. But yeah, kind of a nondescript little double sword guppy. Next one up here is one I recently kind of documented in a video from the wet spot as well. These are the southern mollies, or the Pasilia vivipara. Kind of another kind of dwarf molly species. So not seeing any fry from these yet, but hopefully we'll see some here in the near future. There are some kind of not the best strain of blue dream shrimp in here as well. Heading to the next tank here, we've got the volcano endlers, which is kind of one of my favorites. I kind of was going away from endlers and guppies, but you know, these guys really caught my eye at an auction, and kind of had to have them. So moving onwards here, these are the blue panda guppies. I had these in the tubs this year. They bred out quite nicely. As you can see, there's quite a few males, a few females in here, and doing quite well. So moving down here is probably my favorite swordtails. These are the marbled swordtails. I know the bottom of this tank is absolutely full of hair algae, but it does provide some nice places for the fry to hide. So, but these are absolutely gorgeous swordtails. I think our next auction, I'm going to have to pull out, you know, kind of the plain orange ones. And maybe I'll put those in the auction, and then hopefully we can kind of keep the marbling going on these. But those are absolutely gorgeous. All right, so heading over here, this is the other part of the trio of the Cracodon audax from Los Pinos. You can see here on the male, there's some more red on its fins. Not completely red, but definitely a little bit more red than the other one. Then you got the female right there, some more guppy grass, which I'm kind of hoping grows in, provide some fry cover. And then, you know, there's the other female right there. This is an interesting story. We'll talk a little bit more about this here in a second, but this is the Mangiano cichlid. They're in a 29-gallon with Crips, and they don't bother the Crips at all. I mean, probably because the Crips were here first. But I had one of my daughter's friends kind of got into keeping fish, and so he came over a couple weeks ago now, and he had one of these in a fishbowl. So kind of got him. Long story short, kind of got him straightened out. I made a trade with him, so he gave me the Mangiano cichlid, and I gave him some endlers and cherry shrimp and guppy grass, and kind of sent him on his way. So, but he had some Oscars in like a 10-gallon or something too. So I gave him like a 10-gallon tank, gave him like a little filter and some stuff, and kind of sent him on his way. He ended up buying like a 66-gallon tank for the Oscars, which is kind of better than what he had. So hopefully that'll work out okay. Next one up here, we'll move on to this 29. This is the Xenotania resolane, the leopard goodad. Got these. I've had these before, but I got them recently at the Grand Valley Aquarium Club auction. These guys might be a little old, but we'll see if I can get them to breed. Maybe another one I'll put outside. So, moving on down here. This is the other. Drawing a blank. This is the other. I gotta go remember the name. Drawing a blank. Sorry, Capelixes pardalis. Sorry about that. So this is the other group of the Capelixes pardalis. This is the more common group of them. This is from. This is the Chapitou. I lost my label. So, but this is the normal. This is the normal group of them. Again, very easy to breed. Kind of cool color on them. There's another cullfish I got to get out of there as well. So moving on. another swordtail here. This is the painted swordtails, and the glare here is not good. So we will try to get closer to the glass for you, so you can see these. Kind of like another, yeah. So you can see the fry here. This is probably better. You can, kind of like a black and orange. A couple of Neoscories in here as well. So a lot of males with I kind of ended up with a lot of males. Down here, this is the Liberty Molly, Basilia salvatoris. These were from Dan. I think someone mentioned these in Corey's stream yesterday. And, I've got some, what is this? Pogastem and Guy that I got from Lucas Brett like years and years ago. And it's just kind of made a mat all over the tank. But these guys have really bred quite nicely for me. Just provide them some color, some cover, and they seem to do just fine. All right, moving on. Right here, this is the co-op tank that I did with the mystery box. Unfortunately, one of the biggest mistakes I made with this tank is I literally made this in the most scratched up tank I have in my fish room. The video you saw a couple weeks ago, I filmed that about a month ago or so. So this has grown out quite a bit even since then. You can see, the Tiger Lotus here is really thick. You can see that the sword plant in the back is going to come back a little bit. I think that's the red melon sword in the back. The Sagittaria here is still kind of starting to spread. And then you've got the dwarf aquarium lily here that's really filled out as well. I'll have to trim the lily pads again, but we'll get that going. So down here, we've got the bronze swordtail, Xiphophorus calmani. There's a couple in here. Pretty cool swordtail. Actually gets kind of big once they kind of grow out. Kind of a nice sword on them too. If you look at one of my old fish room tours, you'll see some grown out ones. But yeah, pretty nice fish. This is another one, another kind of Dan's fish tank. These are the Basilia gili and the Xiphophorus milleri. Most of the fish in here now are the gili. You can see a lot of the fry in here. There's a milleri right there, the yellow one. Maybe if he has those in stock, I'll have to get some more milleri and maybe split them up. Because the milleri went gangbusters for a while, and then they kind of petered out. So hopefully I'll have to get those going again. Another fish here, down here. One of my favorites as well. This is the Scyphia multipunctata. Let me see if I can find the good one. There is right there. The good male. So this is the soft-fin Gudeiad. Really nice fish. This one I'm going to probably tub as well to see if I can get some fry. They seem to kind of be eating the fry as well. So that's another one that I've kind of struggled with getting fry from. Next here, this is Guppy Grass Central. And I literally cleaned this out like a month ago. And it's already overflowing again. But we've got the Hawaiian Variatus platies in here. I used to have these in a 20 and they like never bred, and then I put them in here and they've literally, there's quite a few in here actually. If I were to pull the guppy grass out, there'd be quite a few. Another fish down here, another Xenotoka. So this is the Xenotoka variata, the jewel Gudeiad. Pretty cool little fish actually. If you look at the speckling on the male, these are absolutely outstanding. So these are from Jesus Maria. And then this is actually the last tank in the tour. This is the Allodenicthes tamazule. And these are kind of like a little riverine Gudeiad. I'll need to get some more of these, I think. But this is another fry eating one that I've kind of struggled with. So I may try tubbing these as well. But yeah, so that is the tour. Completely, I think we did all 70-ish tanks. So let me, so it's 4:30. So let me flip the camera back around. go through your comments and see kind of what we've got going on. So, all right. So, all right, let me go flip through your questions here. So it's 4:30. So I definitely, when we get done here, I would recommend checking out Stephen P's live stream. I've been watching that here for quite a bit now, and it's definitely been very nice. But I've actually learned a little bit about plants too. So let me go through here and kind of answer your questions again. So let me flip back up here. Yeah, so yeah, I've been bad about mops and stuff like that. I've been reading the comment from Stephen Bissett, spawning mops in the rainbow fish tank, make more. Yeah, I need to do a better job of that. So that Audra's question. Bruce Andrews, 5 nice baby platies in the back of my Fluval Flex. I switched to a sponge filter, and and have to come up with something today. They're about 3/8 of an inch. Yay, baby. So Bruce, yeah, switch the sponge filter. Definitely, but yeah, I would say, I mean, just use the sponge filter. They should be fine. Platies are generally pretty decent. At least your normal, your normal Variatus maculatus species will do fine. Thank you, Zen, for putting all the links out there. I know that I didn't tell anyone that I was doing this, so I kind of decided yesterday it was kind of time to do one. So I definitely appreciate the support and everyone being out here. So Stephen P said his Green Lanterns didn't last as well. So yeah, hopefully I can keep salting and doing all that stuff. So can I ship fish to the Philippines? I am not gonna mess with that one. I'm sorry, John. I'm not gonna do that one. So hello, MNC Aquatics. Hello, Geek Boy. And then hello, anyone else that I missed in the chat. So, I mean, I really do appreciate the support. There was 42 people on, or 40 right now. So, definitely appreciate everyone, being on. Like I said, this is very impromptu. So, let me see. So Steven needs more blue Hawaiian Moscows. If I can actually get them to breed, maybe. So let me see. Yeah, I do want to go to the Keystone Clash this year. I need to work that out with the calendar and everything, but that's definitely out there. So. So Steven wants more live bears. Yeah. So Jen wants 50 trout goodeids. Maybe someday I'll breed enough to get rid of some, but kind of been a bit interesting. It's been kind of a goodeids are slow going. So if you don't know, some of the goodeids are seasonal. Trout goodeids have actually been seasonal, so I was a little surprised to see fry in there, but we'll see. I think it's a little out of season for them, but in a aquarium environment, you never know. And plus, the weather here has been really weird. Like right now, it's actually like 50 degrees. And then last week, it was kind of in like the high 20s. So we've kind of had a fall spring here for a moment. I'm sure as January rolls on, it'll get back to its freezing cold, frigid temperatures that it normally is. So. Yeah. Let me see. Steven had to throw out his guy. He kind of grew like guppy grass. Yep. So thank you, Mike Zajac, local member of my club. So thank you for coming on. Oh, chat just jumped on me. All right. So Mike Reeder asked, do Xenotoka Dodroid need anything special to breed? Got a colony of 16 that I got over 2 months ago. He knows it's 2 months. Yeah, I would provide him cover. A A lot of the Goodeids do eat fry. Dodroy I've not seen that with, but I would go definitely provide some cover and guppy grass and everything like that. Um, so yeah, so definitely provide them some cover and so like every give them some cover and then give them some places to hide. So MNC, thank you for coming in. Yeah, I was on his stream a couple weeks ago. We had some technical difficulties with StreamYard that I was, which I went back like the next day and figured out. So I do apologize for that, but that was fun being on with them. Um, New York Gold is here. You know, thank you, Donnie, for coming in. Alexander asked, "How do I make my guppies breed?" Feed them well, provide water changes, give them cover, and that's really about it. Just do their general care requirements, and they should be fine. So, um, so yeah. Oh, Peplin wanted to see the door, so hopefully he's still here. The I will go show him. We'll go show him the door, and then I forgot about that. So we'll go down and take a look at the door. All right, so he wanted to see the door. So that's the door. That is the foam door, because this door will get quite cold. Like if you touch this part of the door, even now it's still kind of cold. But since we're down here, if anyone missed it, I'll show you some of the highlights from down here real quick. So this is like my favorite tank here in the barn. This is the Cyprochromis Leptosoma Blue Flash again. I'll show you those. Show you some of the kind of the better tanks down here. We'll look at the and then we'll take a look here. These are the Star Sapphire cichlids, along with the Yellow Labs. So, the bug. And then down here again, we've got these Tropheus Maplungu. So, hello, Liquid Zoo. These guys came out now, so you guys can. I'll show you the Nicolsi in a kind of a better. Those are absolutely beautiful. Not a fish I typically keep, but definitely one that I really want to breed because they're absolutely gorgeous. Again, we've got the Shelleys, Neolamprologus similis, and then flipping around here. Let me see what we want to see. See these guys again. These Callichromis macrops, and then down here I got the butterfly Goodeiad, the Ameca splendens. So then let's see, anything else? So we're back down here. Since we talked about the rainbow fish a little bit, we'll show those again. So, all right, we'll head back upstairs, and I think I'll answer some last minute questions, and then we can kind of wrap it up. So. All right, so we're back to the kind of home base here. So hope you guys enjoyed the stream. We'll stay on for like another 5 minutes or so. Answer any questions you guys have. So Alexandra asked, how big are most of my tanks? Most of them are either 20 gallons or 29s. There's quite a few 40 breeders, and um, quite a few 40 breeders. There's some big tanks as well, so kind of a mix, but a lot of 20-gallon highs, 29 gallons, and 40 breeders. If I were to do the fish barn again, I would probably do um, probably all 40 breeders and 29s if I were to do the barn over again. So pond puppies, kind of said, need more live streams. May do that in the new year. I gotta figure out some better stuff that, like, I'll have to come up with topics and stuff like that. Let me think about it. This was kind of just to see, kind of do a fun little stream. I've cleaned the barn up, so I wanted to kind of give you guys a tour, especially since a lot's changed since we did the last fish room tour back in October. There's been a lot that's been going on. So I'm not going to say no. I actually have done some thinking about, do I want to do another live stream or not? But yeah, definitely we'll need to come up with some topics. Let me think about it. I've kind of thought about a night if I were to do it. It actually would be kind of the same night that I used to do it, well, many years ago, like the Tuesday at 8 if I were to do it. So let me stay tuned for that. I'll post it on Facebook in the community tab and whatever else. Once I kind of make a decision to do it, like if you see a stream out there, then yeah, I'll do that. I do actually have an announcement as well. If you're local to the Metro Detroit area, I am actually giving my G'day talk on in February. So it'll be the second Tuesday in February. I'll be giving that talk to the Motor City Aquarium Society. It's about basically G'dayids and the other rare live bears that I keep. So it's Tuesday. It's at a place called the Infinity Hall and Sidebar. It's on 14 and Utica Road in Fraser. So if you're in the Metro Detroit area, definitely check out the Motor City Aquarium Society. Also check out any fish events in your area and your local club. I know the Keystone Clash is heating up. That's one I'm kind of wanting to hit this year, and then also want to do the ALA as well. Both of those are kind of far drives. I mean, Pennsylvania is only 8 hours from here. That's not horrible, but San Antonio, Texas is 20 hours. That's without stops. So that's a 2-day trip for me. So I had to think about that one. I could fly, but if I want to take fish and do stuff like that, I'd kind of rather drive it. But so yeah, I've got a couple more minutes. I'll scroll through here real quick to make sure I didn't miss anything. So yeah, yep. So Von Lurker, keep doing the species profiles. Definitely be doing some more of those. There's a couple. Peplin asked me, do I still have salt water? I do not actually have any salt water right now. It just doesn't fit with how this room operates. I know I did it for a long time. I know you've been around here a long time and you've seen the clownfish breeding stuff. Breeding clownfish kind of isn't, I don't know what I'll call it. Breeding clownfish isn't really profitable, I guess, per se, and they're hard to get rid of. Like with the saltwater world, it's very different. Like you don't have auctions, and you do have swaps, but it's all coral based. It's not really fish based. And especially like with clownfish, there's a lot of big companies out there that breed clownfish now because they're relatively easier to breed than some of the other saltwater fish. And there's just really not a reason to do them unless you're doing something ultra rare. So yeah, I would literally just do, I mean, this doesn't fit in the fish room right now. Maybe someday I'd do a reef tank again, but I kind of don't. It's a different, saltwater is a different game. It's basically, it's not really made for a fish room. It's a one tank. It's almost the best way I can compare it to is it's the European planted tank model, right? Where like in Europe you've got one or two tanks, they're extremely awesome, very well taken care of. It's not the American, um, it's not the uh, the aquarium fish room like you're seeing behind me. So Bob, thank you for the one gifted membership. I appreciate it. That went to Audra. So thanks a lot, Bob. I appreciate it. Um, so Bob was lurking in the background apparently. So that thank you. Definitely check out Steamfod Aquatics as well. Um, Bob and Chelsea actually. I should be careful about that. Could be Chelsea. So who actually shares a name with my daughter. So Pepin Creek, thank you for the members as well. So for the membership as well, I appreciate it. Maybe what I'll do, is I'll set the videos up to release early. Like I need to do something if you're investing money. So look for I'll set them up to release maybe like a few hours early. So Stephen P. Bob is a creeper for sure. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I was saying like Chelsea actually shares a name with my daughter. So every time I hear her name, I always think of my daughter. So my daughter is also a Chelsea, and that's the one that's the volleyball player and the one that's graduating high school um, in May. So Audra gifted a membership as well. Jim's Fish got that one. So thank you very much. Um, so Zen Ginger did memberships as well. So thank you. We'll have to figure out something. I'll have to put my thinking cap on and um, do something. Maybe I don't know. Maybe members live stream, maybe something like that. So um, let me do some brain thinking here over the next couple days. I've been off of work since like December 12th for the holidays and everything. So we'll go back the second, but give me a couple days here to figure out everything that's going on here, and we'll come up with some topics and talk about some other things here in the barn. So I'll have to sign up or figure out like the streaming software and stuff again as well. So because I have I have the good camera and the good microphone down in the basement of the in the house. So we'll figure all that out. So anyways, it's 4:48, and I know Steven's coming up, so I don't want to overextend my time. But Happy New Year to everyone. Hope you have a prosperous 2025. Hope 2024 was good to you. Definitely good for me. So definitely check out Steven and Kelly Foreman. They're going to be coming up at 5 o'clock. So with that, that's my time. Thank you for watching. Stay fishy, and we'll see you sometime in the future. Maybe a week from Tuesday, if I can get my stuff together. So Happy New Year.